Hello and welcome. So today I have for you a bonus Middle Eastern fragrances video because guys, there's been so many new releases and I just want to make sure that I don't fall behind. So I decided to just do this extra video. So today I will be reviewing for you a total of 12 fragrances. I have quite the number of Khadlaj fragrances and I also have the entire musk collection from Gulf Orchid. Now that collection was sent to me and several of the Khadlaj fragrances, actually all of them with the exception of one, were sent to me. But you guys know I'm still going to tell you the truth of how I feel about each one of them. And guys, I have so much to say about these collections. But before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel we love to talk about all types of fragrances. So if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go. All right, so before we jump into the first fragrance, and in case you missed this past Saturday's Chatty Scent Corner video, I wanted to take a moment to let you know that we are now 15K strong. So our family is growing and I am so happy and so excited and so thankful. So I wanted to take a moment to thank you for your part in helping me achieve this incredible milestone. I'm really excited. But I also wanted to let you know that we are going to celebrate. Of course we are. And for that, I am going to have 3 different giveaways. Now, I also want you to know that the giveaways will be announced starting this week. Not all of them will be announced this week because I'm waiting for a couple of fragrances to come in, but one at least will be announced this week, and there will be a Middle Eastern fragrance giveaway, there will be a Western niche fragrance giveaway, and there will be a designer giveaway. So just please make sure that you stay tuned. Now, those giveaways, of course, will be announced with all the details during a video. So for example, for the Middle Eastern giveaway, it would be announced in, like Middle Eastern Thursday, one of the Middle Eastern Thursday, or a Middle Eastern fragrances video. And then for the niche, a video where we're discussing niche fragrances. Because the point is, guys, in this channel, we cover all types of fragrances. So I wanted to make sure, this is my way of thanking you. I know that you don't need me to give you a fragrance, but this is just a way for me to thank you for helping me achieve this goal and just to show you my overall appreciation. Anyway, guys, so stay tuned because those giveaway announcements are coming soon. All right, so I figured that we would start first with the Gulf Orchid Musk Collection. I picked up this collection last year and I did review it for you. And if you just enter Musk Collection in like the channel page in the search bar, you are going to see the video where I reviewed the entire collection last year. Now that collection was not sent to me, which it should make a difference, but I'm just letting you know that one was not sent to me. This one was. Now, as part of that collection, we had 2 fragrances, and I'm just going to share with you my favorite from that collection and the one that no matter what I tried, I was just struggling with that one at the time. Now, that was a year ago, so that means that these fragrances have been sitting in my collection for a year, so they've had ample time to macerate, right? So let me tell you that my favorite from last year's Gulf Orchid Musk Collection is definitely Tahara Vanilla. And as you can see, it is now like, it has turned like, if you remember, it used to be like a white type of juice in the bottle, but now it's looking like a bit honeyed. Because this fragrance has definitely had the chance to sit. And the scent of the vanilla is quite intense. This by no means is a beast mode fragrance, guys. This is a musk, very smooth fragrance that is perfect for spring and summer. So, and there's a reason why I'm explaining all of this to you. Now, the one that I liked the least from last year's collection was tropical fruits. And if you saw that review last year, you know that for me, it was like, where are the tropical fruits? Because I'm like, I'm sniffing it and I'm not finding any tropical fruits. Well, I'm going to tell you that I did try this fragrance in preparation for this video, and now I am picking up on some fruits. Like, I'm picking up like a hint of papaya, I think, some pineapple, some mango, but nothing really like earth shattering and life transforming. I just still, don't think that, this has much of a tropical fruit scent. Does it smell pleasant? Yes, because it's a very, smooth musk fragrance, very, very appropriate for spring and summer, but I'm just not finding the tropical fruits. So fast forward, now I'm going to share with you 6 fragrances that came out this year from their musk collection. But there's a couple of things that I do want to tell you that, covers the span of all 6 fragrances. Number 1, you have to be a musk lover. You have to be a musk fragrances lover because these fragrances are all about the musk. But the beauty of that is that even though they are musk-centric fragrances, they're not animalic in any way. It's a very beautifully done, smooth musk, which is perfection for spring or for a very, very hot summer day. The second thing that I want you to understand about this collection is that although we have, some of the names are like cotton candy, pistachio, pina colada, even though they have those names, you may pick up a hint here and there of those specific, accords or notes. But please do not pick up these fragrances thinking that you're going to have like a cotton candy experience, like a full-on cotton candy scent with this fragrance, because this is designed to be a very smooth, very perfect fit for a very, very warm day type of fragrance. The next thing that I do want to tell you that applies to all of these fragrances is that they are truly unisex. To me, these are unisex. They really don't lean to the feminine or to the masculine side. I think that anybody can wear these fragrances for all ages. We'll talk more about occasions for each one, but I can tell you that this is okay for all ages. And this is also the type of fragrance that you have to try it on skin, guys. This is not one that you can just spray on paper and make your decision or, no, this is a fragrance that you have to spray on skin and see how it reacts to your skin. I mean, all fragrances are like that, but I find that what you're going to get on paper from some of these fragrances is very different than what you're going to get on skin. So I highly recommend that you try the fragrance on skin to decide if it's something that's going to work for you or not. Now, very, very important, guys, all of these fragrances, all of them. Some of them I already, and as I talk to you about each one of them, you'll understand, but some of them already perform to a certain extent and are giving me part of what they're going to be about. But I can tell you clearly that these are the type of fragrances that do need to sit. They are going to need to macerate, and not for a couple of weeks. I've had this collection for over 3 weeks. It was sent to me quite a while back. I sprayed it out. I know how this collection typically works, so I allowed it to sit and begin that maceration process. These are fragrances that will need to sit in order for you to fully experience them and for them to truly bloom and give you the best of what they are. Now, as it relates to that maceration process, I think that if you were to pick up whichever one you're interested in now, or whichever ones you're interested in now, you are in time to receive them, spray them out, and let them sit for at least a couple of months before the summer season really comes in, because some of these are just perfect for the summer season. They're all perfect for spring and summer, but some of them I think are even better just for the summer season, because I think they would do very, very well under very, very high temperatures. Okay, guys, so we are going to start with pistachio, and I just shared the notes with you. And I want to tell you that this is so interesting to me because, guys, when this fragrance opens, I do get a slight, literally a slight scent of pistachio, right? But then almost immediately, it kind of like goes to the background and it's very, very faint. And after a while, it kind of disappears. On the same note, what I do get is a bit of like a synthetic scent that is not giving me pistachio at all, right? And then I do pick up on the vanilla, not a ton of vanilla, but the vanilla is present. I don't pick up on the lactonic quality that I was expecting from the note of milk combined with the pistachio. You know, when you go for a pistachio fragrance, it's almost like you're expecting that you're going to get a specific scent. And if the note of milk is present, then you're thinking, oh, yummy, it's going to be a lactonic, nutty kind of fragrance. But I am not getting that. What I am getting is, just to be honest with you, a synthetic kind of scent. And I am getting a very faint rose in the background with a very, very faint kind of pistachio scent. And that is on paper and on skin. On skin, actually, I pick up even less pistachio than what I pick up on paper. And because I found that to be so different than what I was expecting, I did try this fragrance a couple of times because, but that is what I'm getting here. This fragrance is right now without macerating, because remember that I told you that they do need to sit and macerate, right? But right now, this fragrance is giving me no more than 6 hours without overspraying, just spraying, which I tend to, spray like 8 times around, all over. But, it is giving me 6 hours. It is giving me a moderate sillage, not a very strong projection, maybe during the first half hour. But after that, it does become a skin scent. But that skin scent will last me about 6 hours. At all that, this is also a fragrance that I think is perfect for the spring and summer season, for both spring and summer. But this is definitely one, guys, that is going to need maceration time. So I really recommend that you try and pick it up as soon as possible if you're interested, so that you allow it to sit and then you can see it bloom in time for the end of spring and the entire summer season. Something that I forgot to mention before I started reviewing these fragrances is that I am going to be reviewing them from my least favorite to my most favorite. So as I go through the collection, I will share with you first the one that I like the least, and I will go all the way up to the one that I like the most. Okay, so as I continue to share with you, this one would be my next least favorite, right? And this one is Cotton Candy. Now, Cotton Candy, guys, like, honestly, I'm not getting cotton candy at all from this fragrance, right? But I also told you not to expect to get a full-on experience of whatever they decided to label the fragrance, because this is really designed to be a musk-based, very dominant type of fragrance collection. That's what I experienced last year. And these fragrances are all going to need to sit for a while, believe me. But when it comes to Cotton Candy, what I'm finding with this, though, is that this is coming across, at least on my skin and to my nose, more like a floral kind of fragrance than cotton candy itself. It's like I don't find the cotton candy here at all. I'm getting a floral fragrance that at the dry down is also powdery. In addition to that, this is a fragrance that is giving me like a soapy quality. In addition to that powderiness, it's just very interesting. But I am getting a heavy soapy quality from this fragrance right now. But if I had to be a guessing girl, I would say that once maceration really gets going, that soapiness will kind of calm down and maybe it'll give way to the cotton candy accord, right? Because right now I'm just not finding it at all whatsoever. The musk here is definitely a level 3, but it's a very clean type of fragrance. Again, it has that soapy quality. It really does. And it is powdery. So it's like reminiscent of like one of those very nicely smelling, powders. But yeah, that's what I'm getting from this fragrance. It is performing consistent with all the others, about 6 hours. And it is giving me a strong projection maybe during the first 60 minutes. I am sure that this is one that's going to be so popular, like most people are really going to want to pick this one up. And guys, just keep in mind, these fragrances have not had a chance to macerate. But the Pina Colada for me opens up with a very, very present note of pineapple. And it's not really synthetic, but it does open with the pineapple. And I do get a bit of that citrusy quality coming from mandarin. And I also get the coconut. But the coconut is not very present. It is quite faint in the background. This opening is all about the pineapple. And it is like a juicy and sweet pineapple because this fragrance is definitely sweet. But at all that, guys, I am not getting pina colada per se. I am getting the pineapple, which is definitely dominant. I am getting a bit of the coconut, but faint, as I said before. And all in all, I'm not getting the pina colada effect. Now, this fragrance is also one that does give you a bit of a tropical vibe, and it does have violet. And I do pick up on the violet clearly, making the fragrance not a tad powdery, not excessively powdery, but it's definitely a fragrance that at dry down will be powdery on your skin. At dry down, what I get is like a faint pineapple scent that is powdery on a sweet fragrance and definitely musk based. This one is not too much on the musk though, because this one is like a level 3 musk, but definitely a level 3, which means that you are going to pick up on the musk, but the musk is just, you're going to pick up on the musk on all of these fragrances. But in this one, it is also very, very smooth, smoother than in others that we're going to talk about in a minute. But all in all, I think that what this one needs is really time to sit and macerate. But I predict that this is going to be one that's going to bloom beautifully because I'm already picking up on little hints of different notes, right? Like the pineapple is very present, but I'm also picking up on the violet. The vanilla is definitely there, but not a ton of it. I just know that this one needs to sit. So the next 3 fragrances that I'm going to share with you are really, really ones that I'm enjoying and that have performed from the get-go. So they're a little bit different than the others, but still they're very much musk fragrances where you can't expect to pick up much of anything except that musk scent and a slight touch of whatever, additional notes they have added to add some spice to the fragrance. Now, toffee is a fragrance that you're definitely going to pick up on the toffee from the first moment that you spray the fragrance, and throughout the wear of the fragrance, you are going to get toffee. Not very intense, very musky fragrance, more like a level 4 instead of a level 3, but definitely you are going to pick up on that toffee. And at that, the fragrance is very like a musky, yummy kind of fragrance because I pick up on the caramel. It is a tad lactonic and you are going to get that toffee. But the interesting thing is that this is, as I said before, designed to be more of a spring/summer kind of fragrance. So even though this is toffee and it has that caramel and I think it has some tonka and other notes that make it like a real gourmand, yummy kind of fragrance, it is very, very much suitable for the season of summer. So on a very summer day where you want to smell a bit yummy, but not wear a fragrance that may result to be like cloying or anything like that, then this one would be the perfect fragrance to pick up. As far as performance, it is performing exactly like the others. This one does get me around 7 hours, but again, it is a skin scent. And Angel Musk to me is like the quintessential vanilla fragrance within this collection for this year, right? Like last year we had Tahara Vanilla, but this year we have Angel Musk because this fragrance is all about the vanilla. This is for a true musky vanilla fragrance lover because it is definitely centered around the vanilla and the musk. Now, this fragrance does open warm, spicy, and even though it hasn't been disclosed, I am picking up on pink pepper and a tad of saffron. I am pretty sure that they're in this fragrance because I picked them up clearly. I definitely don't get the Davana, and at the dry down, I do pick up on the tonka. There is a ton of vanilla in this fragrance for sure. It is sweet, and it also has a tad of a lactonic quality to it. But I tell you, this one is one that I really, really think you're going to enjoy, and I am so looking forward to when it has had a chance to sit for several months here in my collection because I know that this is going to be just Beautiful. Actually, I think we may end up liking it even more than Tahara Vanilla. Much like the others, I am getting around 6 to 7 hours from it, but with this one, I am getting a strong projection that really takes me to like the hour and a half mark. And after that, it does become a skin scent, and it'll be a skin scent that will give you whiffs of the fragrance all throughout the time of your wear, right? But it's not giving me more than 7 hours for sure. So this next one, as you just noticed, is Mysterious Tahara. And this is one, guys, that, the notes were not disclosed, I guess, for a while, but Fragrantica does have the note structure of this fragrance. I'm just not sure that I'm really in agreement that those are the real notes of this fragrance, because let me tell you what I pick up. This fragrance to my nose, guys, is fruity and sweet, and it has like a combination of like violet and iris, and this fragrance is powdery to my nose. I also pick up on some saffron here, so those have not been disclosed, and I just wonder, right, because to me this is like a combination of white florals and purple florals, but within the white florals, I am picking up on like a slight rose kind of rose. And then I'm also picking up on jasmine for sure. I am picking up on the violet and the iris, as I said before. It is powdery at dry down for me. And it is definitely a fragrance that has some fruitiness. Now, that really doesn't like match what's being reported on Fragrantica, but I can honestly tell you that that is what I'm getting from this fragrance. But at that, this one is my favorite. It is so, so beautiful, guys. This is just like perfect. And this is one actually that is giving me the highest musk, because it is giving me like a 4.5 level type of musk. It's not like a very demure musk fragrance, but it's not animalic. But there is also an inherent intensity to this fragrance that I'm really appreciating compared to the others. It's almost like this one has had a chance to start the maceration process, because I am telling you, there is definitely a difference in this fragrance, but it is a lovely, lovely scent. This is perfect for spring, absolutely perfect because of those florals that I'm picking up, but it is also one that's going to carry you through the summer without a problem. All in all, guys, when it comes to the Gulf Orchid Musk Collection for this year, I really think that you really can't go wrong with most of them. It really depends on what you're into, and you also need to be willing to give it time to macerate, to sit for a couple of months before you can really judge the fragrance. And it just really depends on you if you want to take a chance with it or not. Personally, I think that they are going to macerate rather nicely. I think we're going to be rather in love with Angel Musk and with the mysterious one. And I also think that the Pina Colada is quite promising. The others is just, it's really going to be a gamble, because I can tell you these fragrances need to sit. They are also, in my opinion, suitable for just about any age, for any occasion, day or night, but I would definitely limit them to the seasons of spring and summer only. These are not fragrances that are going to be beast mode in any way. They're not designed to be beast mode. They are definitely going to get you a full day wear, almost a full day wear, and after they've had the chance to macerate, they may get you a full 8-hour day. But for right now, they're really between 6 to 7 hours, even if you overspray. I know that many of you have been waiting for me to fully review this fragrance. I did this past week, and I can't remember in which video, but I did start to discuss this fragrance, and I did share my Dubai chocolate, which is now gone, so I can't share it with you. But the Dubai chocolate is that chocolate that went viral, and it's a chocolate that has, of course, it's a chocolate bar that has some, like the phyllo, like the bakers or, phyllo dough. It has that, and it has pistachios. And it is really, really delicious, guys, when I tell you. And what I love about that chocolate bar is that it's not very sweet. So I can tell you that in this fragrance, you are going to find like exactly the same scent that you get in Dubai chocolate. This fragrance is sweet, but it's not very sweet. The chocolate here is not a very dark chocolate. It's not a bitter dark chocolate fragrance. To me, it's like a cross between a milk chocolate and a dark chocolate. So it's a very balanced chocolate, but it is definitely the star note and very dominant. In addition to that dark chocolate, the other note that's very dominant in my opinion is the pistachio, guys. It is very present from first spray and all throughout the wear of the fragrance. You're going to get chocolate and pistachio all day, every day with this fragrance. That is what it's about. So you need to make sure that those are notes that you're really into and that you enjoy. This fragrance is sweet. It is very nutty, guys. Oh, but it smells so good. It's lactonic, but not very lactonic, but it is definitely lactonic. And it is a fragrance that has a ton of vanilla. I don't think that this is a fragrance that would do very well on a very hot summer day. But other than that, I think this is perfect for just about any season of the year, for any occasion, as long as you want to smell like chocolate, day and or night, right? And you also, this to me is a unisex fragrance. It does not lean to the feminine or to the masculine side. This is truly a unisex fragrance. I see anybody wearing this fragrance. There is no oud here, and there is really no musk. I don't pick up on any musk at all. And this is a fragrance that does get me a very strong projection during the first hour and a half to 2 hours. And after that, it does become a scent bubble for maybe another hour. And then it does become a skin scent. And that skin scent will take you throughout the entire day because it will give you a full day wear, if not more. I have not oversprayed this fragrance because while this is not a beast mode fragrance, when I tell you that the chocolate and the pistachio are present and they let you know that they are the stars of the fragrance, believe me, you are going to know that you're wearing a chocolate and pistachio fragrance. But at that, it smells so yummy. And what I love is that even though this is a fragrance that has quite a bit of presence of those notes that could end up being cloying, I can really see someone wearing this during the summer season. But again, not on a very smoldering hot day. But hey, you can wear whatever you want, whenever you want. Okay, so now let's talk about a couple of fragrances from Khadlaj La Fede collection. And I have here brown choco and white forest strawberry. But let's go ahead and start with brown choco. So when it comes to brown choco, guys, you're basically going to get the same experience that I described for the pistachio kunafa. You're going to get that phyllo dough, you're going to get that chocolate, and you're going to get the pistachio. The chocolate and the pistachio are the stars of the fragrance because this fragrance is supposed to be one that emulates the scent that you get from Dubai chocolate. And at that, it is definitely that scent, but there is a difference that I notice immediately between these two fragrances. When it comes to brown choco, I think that the chocolate here is a bit more intense than what you find in pistachio kunafa. In pistachio kunafa, as I said, to me, the chocolate is like a mix of milk chocolate and dark chocolate. But in brown choco, to me, it is really more of a dark chocolate to the extent of there being even a bit of like bitterness in the scent coming from the chocolate. Not that this is bitter, but there is a certain level of bitterness coming with the scent because of that dark chocolate. They're both suitable for the same seasons that I explained in, the previous one. So fall, winter, spring, you could get away with it during the summer, all ages, all occasions, as long as you want to smell like chocolate and pistachio and smell yummy, because this is definitely yummy. I find this one also to be just a tad less lactonic than pistachio kunafa, if that'll make a difference for you. But I will tell you that this one does perform better than pistachio kunafa. Not by a lot, but it does perform a bit better. So while I get a full day, 8 hours with pistachio kunafa, this one may get you like a half hour more without having to overspray, but the projection and the sillage are pretty much the same. All right, guys, so now let's talk about White Forest Strawberry. I have so much to say about this fragrance because, yeah. So guys, at first sniff and at first spray, what this gave me almost immediately was Yum Pistachio Gelato. And I'm not sure if this one was supposed to be inspired by it or not, but I'm telling you, I'm getting Yum Pistachio Gelato. And it's funny because a fan member reached out to me in the comments of one of the videos, and he said that this fragrance is giving him a serious pistachio note. And I totally agree because, again, I'm getting Yum Pistachio Gelato and I'm also getting Cair Pistachio, right, which is like around the same scent profile. But at that, it's interesting because this one is a bit more floral on my skin than what I get from those other two fragrances. So you are going to get that Yum Pistachio Gelato scent profile and DNA, but this one is a bit more floral, which makes it even better for the spring and summer season. This is a fragrance that has no oud. I don't pick up on oud at all, but it is giving me like a level 1 musk, which has not been disclosed, but I am picking up on a hint of musk here. Not a hint, no, I'm picking up on a bit of musk. Not a full-on, like, excessive musk like a 3 or a 4, no, but I am picking up on musk in this fragrance. I think that this is one that you could pull off any season of the year, just not on a very, very hot summer day, guys, because this one is also a bit lactonic. Again, it has more of that floral accord to it, but it's still a bit lactonic, so you have to be a bit careful. That's just my opinion. I think this is definitely a unisex fragrance for all ages, for any occasion. This is just a beautiful, lovely fragrance, guys, because I'm telling you, the florals, at least to my nose, have been amplified here compared to what you get in Cair Pistachio or in Yum Pistachio Gelato. The other thing that I did want to mention is that this one is also like a bit fruitier and less nutty, right? And I think it's a function, the less nutty, I think, is a function of how the florals are amplified, in my opinion, because I'm telling you, I think there's more florals here than what you get in the others, for example, right? But also, this is a fragrance that's performing very, very well because it's giving me 7+ hours without having to overspray. It does have a very beautiful sillage that will get you compliments. This is the type of scent profile, guys, that will get you attention. It's not like a beast mode right now, but you never know. After it has a chance to sit, it could end up being a beast mode. But I tell you, it's just a very, very lovely experience. And after, like, I would say like the first hour, you are going to go into a scent bubble. And then maybe like a half hour after that, it is going to become a skin scent. But it is a pretty strong skin scent, guys. And the sillage, as I said before, is just absolutely perfect. I think that this is a great fragrance for spring and summer. And of the two, between the Choco Brown and this one, I actually prefer this one. So now let's talk about Nuha Cherry Blush. So Nuha Cherry Blush, guys, is of course a cherry-centric fragrance. There's no denying that. But at that, this is a fragrance that opens up very fresh and fruity and sweet, and a tad boozy. But it is clear from the get-go that the star of this fragrance is the cherry. And that cherry is not dark. It's a fresh and juicy and sweet, just a lusciously beautiful cherry. As the journey continues, you are going to pick up on some florals, but the star of the florals, in my opinion, is the jasmine. I pick up clearly on the jasmine, but it couples so well with that cherry and that tad booziness. Oh, it's just perfection. And as you approach the dry down, and at dry down, you are going to get woodiness in the background of all of that activity. It is just beautiful because it's not just like a fruity, sweet fragrance. No, it has some character, which makes it perfect for any occasion, day or night. And this is really a fragrance that you could pull off any time of the year. I just think it's perfection for the spring season. But this is one that you could pull off for any season of the year and for any occasion, day or night. I also think that this is good for 25 plus just because of that boozy quality. But other than that, this is a fragrance that is just a beauty for this season, for the summer, and for any season. This fragrance has no oud, and to me it has like a level 1 musk, because this fragrance is really not about the musk. This is all about the cherry and some florals and some woodiness in the background, again to add some character. But there is really no oud and very, very little of a musk presence in this fragrance. This is also one that performs rather well because it will get you a full day wear. It's almost approaching 8 hours, not quite. It's more like 7 hours, but it is definitely one that maybe if you overspray will get you more. And definitely after it has a chance to sit, I'm sure that it will perform even better. But this one is not giving me any type of issues when it comes to performance. It does leave a sillage of about 2 to 3 feet, which is very, very nice. But then you have a projection that's not as strong from like the first 90 minutes to 2 hours, and then it becomes a skin scent. But that skin scent will carry you all throughout the day. So the next fragrance that I want to cover with you is from the Velvet collection from Khadlaj, and this one is Cream Velvet. Now guys, I've been so looking forward to speaking to you about this fragrance because you know, this fragrance is truly within the same scent profile as Bianco Latte. But I have to tell you that I am really, really liking this fragrance because it is a fragrance, like if you ask me, Arahi, could I wear Bianco Latte during the summer season? I would say absolutely not. Maybe even during the spring on a warm day, I would not do that. But this one, there is just something about it there. It's not necessarily airy because you are going to get that full-on scent profile, but it's just not as intense. It's not as sickly, to call it something lactonic, as Bianco Latte. Not that Bianco Latte is sickly in any way. I think that's a masterpiece of a fragrance. I think it's incredible. But this one brings a twist to the table. I'm telling you, there is less intensity in that lactonic quality, and there is a certain airiness, like I don't know how to describe it in any other way, that will allow you to wear this fragrance during seasons and times that you would not pull Bianco Latte. In this fragrance, you have some jasmine, you have some honey, some licorice, you have a ton of vanilla. But again, that lactonic quality is less than what you get in Bianco Latte and even in Eclair. Now, if you were to ask me, you know, if I already have Bianco Latte and Eclair, is this one redundant? I would say that it is. Even though there is that slight difference, I would not be picking up this fragrance, you know, if you already have it. I didn't know that this one was supposed to be inspired by Bianco Latte because that has not been disclosed, but I am truly getting that scent profile. But at that, this is a fragrance that performs really, really well, guys, because it will give you a full day wear without even having a chance to sit and macerate, because it hasn't. It's giving me a full day. It does have a very strong projection during the first 2 hours, and it does have a moderate sillage. I haven't received compliments with this one, but I haven't wore it out enough to like get compliments, but I'm pretty sure that much like Bianco Latte, it will be a conversation getter. There is absolutely no oud in this fragrance, but it is definitely a musk level 3, a high 3, bordering on 4. So you really have to enjoy a musk fragrance. At that, there is no animalic quality to the musk here. And I do pick up on a tad of an animalic quality when it comes to Bianco Latte. So that's another thing in its favor that makes this fragrance suitable for the seasons of spring and summer versus just limiting it to spring, fall, and winter, which is what we get from Eclair and from Bianco Latte. So this next fragrance is Mocha Latte. And guys, this is such a deep love for me. This is like an obsession, and I'm not even into coffee fragrances like that, but this is just exceptional. So this one is part of the Caffe collection from Khadlaj, of course, and I had already reviewed for you Coffee Latte. I had already reviewed for you Coffee Latte. If you want to see that review, just enter the name of that fragrance in the search bar of the channel and it should pull up the video where I discuss it. But this one, so this one opens up very warm, spicy, and it has such a present and dominant cinnamon note. You cannot deny that there's cinnamon here, so you have to enjoy the note of cinnamon in order to enjoy the opening of this fragrance, because it's really more about the cinnamon in the opening than the coffee. But almost immediately after that very strong cinnamon opening, you are going to get that coffee. And the coffee is not an intense coffee or a very dark coffee, but it's not a watered down coffee either. It's like a cafe Americano, you know, type of thing, where you do get that coffee flavor and scent, but it's not something so strong that you're like, oh no, this is going to make me smell like a barista. Which in the past, you know, I've reviewed a couple of Middle Eastern fragrances that I've said, oh no, because this will make me smell like I'm a barista. There's nothing wrong with that, but that's not how I want to smell. But this fragrance, oh no, this is a beauty. In addition to that coffee in the opening and that warm, spicy quality, you are going to pick up on a bit of a citrusy quality to the fragrance and a tad of booziness. And that just puts this fragrance over the top. Now, anytime that we talk about cinnamon and booziness, you know, we all start to think about, oh, Angel Share, is it similar to? No, it's not similar, guys. This is totally different. This is absolutely beautiful. I don't think that this was inspired by anything, because this is just incredible. When I tell you, if you are into coffee fragrances, you need to get your nose on this one. And even if you're not, because I'm telling you, I'm not much of a coffee fragrances lover, but this one, oh, this is just perfection. Then at the dry down, you are going to get like that caramelly accord coming from the tonka and that vanilla. It is just incredible. This is a fragrance that performs so beautifully, guys. It will get you 8+ hours. It's not beast mode, but it does get you 8+ hours, and it really hasn't even had a chance to sit much in my collection. And at that, it will get you a strong projection during like the first 90 minutes, and after that it becomes a scent bubble, and it's like maybe like 2 to 3 hours before that 8-hour mark where it truly becomes a very intimate skin scent. But when I tell you, this fragrance will also get you compliments, and it is a conversation piece, because there is like an inherent sweetness to the scent, and you won't smell like coffee unless you sniff yourself on purpose and look for the coffee. It's almost like you really won't even smell much like coffee. There is absolutely no oud in this fragrance, and I don't pick up on any musk. And I think that this is suitable, you know, even though it's a coffee fragrance, I think it is suitable for all ages, but best for 25+. And again, I think that this is one that you can pull off any season of the year for any occasion. Would I wear this to a formal event? Absolutely. Would I wear this to date night? Absolutely. I'm telling you, this is such a beauty. If you've tried this fragrance, can you please let us know your opinion on it? What has your experience been like? Are you a coffee fragrances lover, or you're not, but you're still in love with it? I am just curious, because I'm telling you, I am really loving this fragrance. All right, guys, so we've reached the end of today's video, and I hope that this was useful and enjoyable for you. I just wanted to come on here and share these multiple collections, right? And have a good conversation about the Gulf Orchid, because I've received so many requests. Again, that is a collection that I do recommend, but it is going to require patience. I said that last year because I had the feeling that as I tested those fragrances, I knew that they were going to have to sit. And time has proven me right, which is why I opened by talking about my experience with Tahara Vanilla and how it has improved through time, and even tropical fruits, which was not my favorite, how I have finally started to find the tropical fruits in it. Not to the extent and intensity that I would have expected, but they're definitely there. Now, when it comes to this year's Gulf Orchid collection, I am telling you, I think you are going to enjoy several of those fragrances, and the Pina Colada, the mystery one, the angel one. But anyway, guys, thank you so much as always for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.